So in my opinion, Captain America is one of the most interesting and most diverse characters in the entire MCU. And with his entire character arc closing in Avengers Endgame, I thought it'd be a fun time to stop and rank all 3 MCU Captain America films from my least favorite to my favorite. Now, there's not a worst film here. Even my bottom one, I still would give a positive score. All these films, I think, are either good or amazing. So before I give you guys my ranking, let me know what you guys think of these films down in the comments below. Which ones do you love? Which ones do you hate? Which ones are more in the middle? Do you love any of these films? Do you love all these films? Do you find them both equally? Do you find them a bit overrated? Or do you find them underrated? If that can be a thing for these films. I'll have to know your thoughts. So without further ado, let's get into it. Coming in last place, I have Captain America, the First Avenger. So again, I don't have any problem with this film as a film. The first 40 to 45 minutes of this film, I think, is A+ material. The training, the CGI for putting Chris Evans' head on this little guy's body is pretty much almost seamlessly. It's really fun and exciting, and that's what I wanted to see. And then when he gets to Serum, we have a fun chase sequence, and we basically just montage through the rest of the film. It is a very weirdly paced film. I think the casting is great. Chris Evans is really great as Captain America. Hugo Weaving is really great as Red Skull, even though he doesn't really want to admit or really want to admit that he was this character. He wants really nothing to do with this entire franchise, which is a bit disappointing and sad because he is one of the best parts of this film, and the action sequences, I think, are a lot of fun. My main problem with this film is it's all over the place in terms of pacing. The first 45 minutes, I think, are fantastic. Then they kind of montage through Captain America just punching Nazis, which is a massive montage, a couple more action sequences, and then all of a sudden you're done with the film. It is a very odd-paced film, and some of the visual effects, why most of the part really great. At the end, some of the green screen, it doesn't really look that great. It really kind of sometimes looks like a rubber Chris Evans. Not Chris Hemsworth, my character, a lot of the times. And I think this is a really enjoyable film. It's just in terms of the Captain America movies, this is the film I go to least of all. Coming in second place, I have Captain America Civil War. Now, I find this film extremely interesting. The anticipation for Civil War was all around pretty insane. The build-up to this film, whose side were you on, and all around who was eventually going to win overall in the overall battle scheme, was super exciting to be a part of. When the film came out, people were riveted. People were loving it. They're saying it's the best MCU film. I love Civil War. I think it's a really engaging, almost political thriller in a way, comic book film. And what I love so much about this film is it almost kind of has you choose two different sides. Are you on Team Cap or Team Iron Man? Because when you watch the film, Captain America brings out some pretty good points of why you should be on his team. But Iron Man also brings up some pretty good points of why you should be on his side. So you always, throughout the entire film, and even after the film, and on your rewatches, you're constantly conflicting back and forth of what side you should be on. And every time I watch the film, I'm on two different conflicting sides as well. The action sequences, the airport sequence is exciting, it's fresh, it's just awesome to see. There's really a lot of fun sequences. But in my opinion, the best action scene in this film is the personal fight between Tony, Cap, and Bucky, because why the airport fight scene is super fun. Seeing Spider-Man, Black Panther, all these new characters being introduced, and seeing Black Panther play perfectly by Chadwick Boseman in this film be introduced, which is great, and seeing Tom Holland as Spider-Man, which is great. But the personal fight between Cap, Tony, and Bucky, for me, is the best because it's such a personal fight. The airport fight was kind of just a fun little big blockbuster action fight. This feels much more personal, like Tony wanted to kill Bucky. He was not going to lay any punches, and Steve was not going to allow that. So he was going to clash sides with his newer friend to protect his friends since childhood. So it's almost like the clash of the titans. I think Zemo's a really conflicting and overall pretty brilliant villain. My main problem with the film is why I think Zemo is a really good villain. I wasn't a big fan of his storyline, and I didn't really find that it was that captivating as much as I wanted to be. But still, this film's really fantastic. But of course, coming in first place is technically the political thriller spy espionage thriller, The Winter Soldier. This film is perfect. I think it's one of the best comic book films. It's in the top 5 best MCU film. The action sequences is stunning. It's fast-paced, fast editing, and shaky cam done right. Because the fast cutting adds to the intensity and really adds to it, but you can still see and feel every single punch and every single hit that is just perfectly put and perfectly kind of molded into this movie. It's such a fantastic film. Black Widow and Captain America's relationship, I think, is stunning. The themes of this film and what side are you on and who to trust in dealing with government and kind of dealing with how they work in all things. It's definitely the most, I think, serious and dark MCU films thematically. The film is super fast paced, really enjoyable, and overall has a fun, lighthearted levity to it that you can't really discard. This is such a fun movie. It's politically dark. It introduces Falcon, Winter Soldier as the villain. All great. So you guys have it. That was my ranking of all 3 MCU Captain America films. What do you think of my ranking? Down in the comments below. If you like this, you can hit the like button and subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you're next when I upload another video. You guys can check out my podcast. I do run and do every other Tuesday with a friend of mine. It's called the Movie View Podcast, and you guys can check out my Instagram at GeneralScoreDaniel77. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.